got a question for Saints fans. I have a genuine, honest question for New Orleans Saints fans. Would y'all welcome Sean Payton back? Because I would. I would 100% take Sean Payton back with arms wide open, and I might even trade a pick for him. I'm just saying. I think his contract's over after 2025, 2024, something like that. But the reason I asked that question is because clearly Sean Payton is stinking it up in Denver. I was going to talk about the Broncos-Bears game, but Justin Fields plays his life out. Sean Payton almost loses to the worst team in the NFL. And then the worst team in the NFL, who put up points on the worst defense in the NFL, allows one of the worst teams in the league to come back on them and win because Justin Fields just absolutely chokes the game away. But Sean Payton is clearly struggling right now. Sean Payton is clearly struggling right now with the Denver Broncos. The offense is clicking. They're not winning football games, though. The defense is horrible. Vance Joseph clearly has some things to clean up. Would you welcome Sean Payton back to the New Orleans Saints, Who Dat Nation? Because I would. Because understanding that Dennis Allen is now 6-6 in his last 12 games. He is well below 500 as a coach. We have more offensive talent this year, and we're worse offensively. Pete Carmichael is not the guy cutting it. Slide Sean in. Slide DA back to the defensive coordinator role because, again, DA, you call an impeccable defense. 99% of the time, I agree with your defensive play calls. Now, you can be boneheaded sometimes. I've seen you call some calls and blow some, late coverages in a game and kind of make us wonder if that team's going to come back. But for the most part, man, the people that you've brought in and the defense that you have built is elite. I would welcome Sean Payton back in a heartbeat because we were 5-2 before Jameis Winston tore his ACL. Yes, that season looked rough, but Sean Payton did the best he could to coach us through it and only missed the postseason by one game that year, despite all of the insanity that we had to go through. Coaching is what separates the winners from the losers in this league, the men from the boys, the champions from the runner-ups. We saw that the Browns were horrible under Freddie Kitchens. They hire Kevin Stefanski, and they win a damn playoff game, and he's coach of the year. We see what coaching is doing for the Washington Commanders right now under Eric Bieniemy. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at. I would welcome back Sean Payton. I would welcome back Sean Payton without even thinking about it. I get it. His heart wasn't in it. That was bullshit. Whatever. He leaves, goes on TV for a month, enjoys being on the herd, wears different colored ties to make people think who he's going to play for, and then he goes and signs with the Broncos. Great. I think Sean knows what he built here in New Orleans. I think Sean knows he's possibly got some unfinished business left here in New Orleans. Let's just be real. If Sean Payton was still the coach for the New Orleans Saints, I think they're getting a lot more coverage and talked about at this point. Because it is very clear that when Sean Payton had to coach his face off, injured Drew Brees, 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater, 5-2 with the Jameis Winston, who was off a 30-30 year. Or, a couple seasons off a 30-30 year. That's what Sean Payton was capable of. And we know what he did for this franchise. So, Saints fans, I generally want to hear from you in the comments before we get into our NFL power rankings. Should the New Orleans Saints consider going after Sean Payton again after this year? Would you welcome Sean Payton back as a New Orleans Saints fan? I'm telling you right now, without question, I would welcome Sean Payton back with open arms.